Unfortunately, from the first days that airships and airplanes started flying in the north, there were crashes, and sometimes people walked away, and there were some instances where people seemed to get into crash after crash, but always, you know, if they had their lucky rabbit's foot or something, they always managed to get away. But then there were others where really it was just these freak circumstances, and you know, one, for example, Chuck McAvoy, who, you know, flew a bit by the seat of his pants, but he was a good pilot, and he crashed, and it took them over 40 years to find the wreckage. And this was the mentor of Buffalo Joe McBrien of Buffalo Airways or Ice Pilots NWT fame. It was really his mentor, and so everyone kept an eye out. And so you can imagine all this air traffic flying back and forth over the Barren Lands in the Northwest Territories, north of Yellowknife, and it took them 40 years to spot the plane. And then finally they actually took the wreckage out aboard one of the Buffalo Airways DC-3s, and now I believe it's in Yellowknife awaiting restoration. So that's just one example of really how people kind of disappeared in the north. Luckily there were lots of survival stories and people who managed to walk away from even bad crashes. They were an American couple who were trying to fly from Fairbanks, Alaska, all the way down to California in February, and in the end they actually crashed just south of Whitehorse around the Watson Lake area, and they were in the bush for 50 days, and again people were flying back and forth and nobody spotted them. There was a heavy snowfall, and the small plane they were flying in didn't have bright colors, so it was really hidden from view. Because they didn't have a whole lot of flying experiences in the north, and were expecting to stop a lot of places for food and fuel, they didn't pack much in the way of supplies. And actually Helen Claiborne said later that she thought this was a good opportunity to go on a diet. So she had only packed Tang crystals and some fruit. So they survived on next to nothing for over 49 days, and lost just an astounding amount of weight during that time, suffered some huge injuries, including frostbite, had to get some toes amputated in the end. But they were eventually found and rescued, and it became huge news across the north and all of North America, because of course these were Americans. So there was a lot of resources put into that search, but they were just hidden from view for 49 days.